Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now, and I really appreciate you taking your time tuning into my video. I posted a video late yesterday evening, sometime after 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that video was geared towards the folks that didn't know that I had a visit from the ATF a couple of years ago, and they had legitimate reasons to ask me some questions. Then it turned into a big fishing expedition, and them trying to accuse me of things that I didn't do. And if you haven't watched that video yet, there will be a thumbnail, which is a link to that video at the end of this video, and you can go watch it. And as of Thursday morning, that video's got over 30,000 views, so I appreciate everybody's support with that. So let's start off with some good news coming to the people in California. A federal judge has blocked enforcement of a California handgun regulation. A federal judge on Monday blocked enforcement of a decades-old California law that requires newly developed handguns to have particular safety features, ruling the regulation overly stringent and a violation of the Second Amendment. California's Unsafe Handgun Act, enacted in 2001, aims to prevent accidental discharges through various safety standards. The legislation mandates that certain handguns have a chamber load indicator and a magazine disconnect mechanism that prevents a handgun from being fired if the magazine is not fully inserted. To assist with gun crime investigations, the firearms must also have a microstamping mechanism, which allows the transfer of microscopic imprints of the handgun's make, model, and serial number onto shell casings when the gun is fired. These regulations are having a devastating impact on Californians' ability to acquire and use new state-of-the-art handguns. Federal District Judge Cormac J. Carney, a George W. Bush appointee, wrote in his order, since 2013, when the microstamping requirement was introduced, not a single new semi-automatic handgun has been approved for sale in California. Well, of course, that's the reason they did it. Microstamping technology is not technologically feasible and commercially practical to incorporate into new handguns on a large scale, he wrote. The rule has been stifling the manufacture of more advanced handguns, inhibiting Californians from exercising their constitutional right to bear arms. When Californians today buy a handgun at a store, they're largely restricted to models from over 16 years ago, Carney wrote. The plaintiffs included 4 individuals and the California Rifle and Pistol Association, who launched the legal action challenging the law last August. California claimed safety precaution laws surrounding gun making have existed since America's early years. For example, there was a founding era regulation against storing gunpowder improperly so as to avoid accidental building fires. The state also said the regulation doesn't prohibit possessing all handguns, only those it deems prone to accident. The plaintiffs rebutted that the rule erodes their gun rights clearly stipulated in the Constitution, with which Judge Carney agreed, because enforcing those requirements implicates the plain text of the Second Amendment, and the government fails to point to any well-established historical analogs that are consistent with them. Those requirements are unconstitutional, and their enforcement must be preliminarily enjoined. Carney's decision comes after the Supreme Court's ruling last year in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin, which nullified New York's rejection of the plaintiffs' applications for concealed carry licenses for self-defense. That's a pretty big win for the folks there in California. As I mentioned earlier, don't forget at the end of this video, there will be a thumbnail to watch the video that I posted last night about the ATF coming to my house a couple of years, if you're not aware of what happened. And as always, I really appreciate everybody's support. You guys are always crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And I really do appreciate it. And invite everybody back to come see my next video.